This week, we are focusing on common misspelled words and using better vocabulary to help students develop their writing skills. The goal is to expand children's vocabulary in writing so they can produce a better text. Word number 1 is humor. If people say you have a sense of humor, it means you are quite funny. For example, comedians always have a great sense of humor, where they always make people laugh. If you break the word humor up, you can see two smaller words, hum and owl. Word number 2 is teamwork. A combined action of a group is called teamwork. The word teamwork is a compound word. You can see the words team and work in the word teamwork. That is, to make things work, you will need a team of people. For example, in soccer, all players need to work together to score a goal. Without teamwork, it is impossible. Word number 3 is decision. A decision is made usually after careful consideration. It's another word for a conclusion or a resolution. For example, during an exam, you will need to make lots of decisions to ensure that you have answered the questions correctly. Word number 4 is lifestyle. The way in which a person lives is called lifestyle. The word lifestyle is a compound word. You can see the words life and style in the word lifestyle. For example, the best way to prevent weight gain is to exercise and maintain an active lifestyle. Word number 5 is positive. If you're feeling positive, it means you're feeling good. For example, after Po sit the exam, she feels very positive about getting a good result. Can you see Po and sit in the word positive? Word number 6 is grieve. Another word for grieve is sorrow or sad. The word grieve is a verb, not an adjective. You cannot use it to describe the feeling of a person. For example, after my puppy died, I was heartbroken and still grieved this loss. Grieved in this context is a sensing verb. Word number 7 is technique. Another word for technique is skill. For example, at Stephanie Coaching, we teach you lots of techniques to master exams for English, maths, and general ability. Don't forget the letter Q in the word technique. Word number 8 is illustration. An illustration is a picture normally found in a book, newspaper, or magazine. The word illustration is related to the word illustrate, which means draw. For example, children's books have lots of illustrations to help them read and understand meanings. Word number 9 is cliffhanger. A dramatic and exciting ending of a story is called a cliffhanger. For example, the book ends with a cliffhanger, leaving the reader hungry for more. Although the word cliffhanger is a compound word where you can see the words cliff and hanger, it does not mean a person is hanging off a cliff. Word number 10 is presentation. A speech or talk is another word for presentation. For example, For school, you might need to give a PowerPoint presentation of a project that you worked on. If your teacher loved it, she might award you with a certificate or a present on presentation night. Can you see the word present or present in the word presentation? Present is a noun. Present is a verb. Confusing enough, but they both have the same spelling but different pronunciation, depending on how the word is used in a sentence. Word number 11 is reputation. A person with a good character has a good reputation. For example, Miss Stephanie has a good reputation in teaching and is known to be knowledgeable, skillful, and strict. Word number 12 is capacity. The word capacity means the maximum amount that something can hold. In maths, capacity refers to liquid. For example, the water bottle's capacity is 600 milliliters. Can you see the word city in capacity? Word number 13 is confused. When you're confused, you are unable to think clearly. For example, I was confused about how to solve the puzzle. Word number 14 is hypothesis. The word hypothesis is often used in a scientific report. It's more than just an educated guess of the result of an experiment. Some people call it a scientific theory that can be tested. For example, will an ice cube melt in less than 30 minutes at room temperature in an empty glass? Before you conduct this experiment, you need to come up with a hypothesis of what you think the result or conclusion of the experiment will be. A hypothesis doesn't always have to be correct in an experiment. Try this experiment at home and tell me if your hypothesis is the same as your result. Word number 15 is emergency. A serious, unexpected, and often dangerous situation that requires an action is called an emergency. For example, if you have a heart attack, someone will call the ambulance as an emergency. Don't forget there are 3 E in the word emergency. Word number 16 is decaying. Another word for decaying is rotting. For example, the boy's teeth were slowly decaying after eating too many sweets and not brushing his teeth. Word number 17 is depressing. Another word for depressing is upsetting or sad. For example, the depressing story made the mouse sad. Depressing is an adjective. Depressed is a verb. Word number 18 is attitude. If you have an attitude, it means that you are showing uncooperative behavior. For example, the puppy has an attitude towards his owner. Don't forget there are 3 T in the word attitude. Word number 19 is philosophy. Philosophy is the study of knowledge. For example, my friend is studying the philosophy of cultures and ancient art in university. PH in philosophy is the F sound. Remember, there is no letter F in the word philosophy. Word number 20 is examination. An examination is a detailed inspection or study. Examination is the formal word for exam. When you have an examination at school, it means that you're doing an important test. Often, we call it an exam. The word examination can be broken up into 3 small words: exam, I, nation. You can remember the sentence by, I have an exam about my nation. Word number 21 is possess. Possess is a verb. It means own. For example, I possess 4 snakes. So remember, there are 4 S in the word possess. Word number 22 is revolution. A revolution is a rebellion against the existing regime. This means a group of people are forcing their way to get rid of the current government and replace them with a new one. For example, there was a revolution in the Hunger Games. That is, districts versus the capital. Word number 23 is mortified. If you feel mortified about something, it means you feel embarrassed or horrified. For example, SpongeBob saw a dark figure lurking outside his window and was mortified. Don't forget, there are 2 I in the word mortified. Word number 24 is expressionless. A person showing no emotion is called expressionless. For example, the cartoon character had an expressionless face. The word expressionless is a compound word. Can you see the words expression and less in expressionless? Word number 25 is humiliation. Another word for humiliation is embarrassment. For example, the boy suffered humiliation after the bully pulled his pants down. The word humiliation is a noun. The word humiliate is a verb. Word number 26 is photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is a scientific word. It's the process by which green plants use sunlight to receive nutrients from air and water. For example, plants' job is to absorb the rays from the sun to begin the process known as photosynthesis. Break the word up to help you remember the spelling. Photo, syn, sis. Word number 27 is misspell. When you misspell a word, it means you spelled the word incorrectly. Do not spell this word as MISSSPELL. Remember the spelling by misspell doesn't know how to spell. There are only 2 S in misspell. Word number 28 is consecutive. The word consecutive means following each other continuously in an unbroken sequence. For example, I can't believe it. We have had rain now for 20 consecutive days. This means it has not stopped raining for 20 days in a row. Word number 29 is torrent. A strong and fast-moving stream of water is called a torrent. For example, after the storm, the stream becomes a raging torrent. Don't forget there are two R in the word torrent. Word number 30 is boorish. A person who is rough and bad-mannered is described as boorish. The word boorish is an adjective. A bore is an ill-mannered person and is a noun. For example, Jameson's boorish behavior in front of Stephanie earned him extra homework for the week. This brings to the end of our spelling list 28. Keep practicing and good luck in your spelling test.